Hi, third graders. Today we are going to have a lesson about naming quadrilaterals. We've been talking a lot about quadrilaterals for the past couple weeks, and today is our last lesson on quadrilaterals. Today we're going to be thinking about what the name of a quadrilateral is if we know a couple of its characteristics, a couple of things about it. Here's our first problem. Name two attributes of a square that are not attributes of all parallelograms. So this is a parallelogram right here, and this is our square. I want you to think for a minute, what things does a square have that not all parallelograms have? What makes a square different? The first thing that makes a square different is that all the sides of a square are the same length. They are all equal. The other thing that makes a square different are the right angles. So these are all the right angles that are inside of this square. They all make a perfect L. We're going to read this problem together. I have a quadrilateral. It has four sides that are all the same length. It does not have any right angles. What is the name of my shape? I'm going to read that again. I have a quadrilateral. It has four sides that are all the same length. It does not have any right angles. What is the name of my shape? What are we trying to find out? We're trying to find out the name of a shape. And we know a couple things about this. I have a quadrilateral. It has four sides that are all the same length. It does not have any right angles. So you're thinking to yourself, what kind of shape might this be? Let's take a look at Ms. Whittam's chart. So we know that it has four sides that are all the same length. So if I think about things that are all the same length, I think all sides equal, and I think all sides equal. These are our two spots that might help us to determine the name of this shape. So a square, we just said the special part about a square is that it has four right angles. But if we go back to our problem, we know that our shape does not have right angles. So the only one that it could be is our friend the rhombus. My favorite shape is the rhombus. So you can make a model to help you name this quadrilateral. If I wanted to, I could use some toothpicks. And the reason I might use toothpicks is because I know they're all the same length. And that will help me because it's kind of hard to draw a line that's the same length without using a ruler. And this shape has no right angles. And so it is not a square, but it has all this, it does have all the sides the same. You could also make a list of the attributes of your quadrilateral. So we know it has four sides and four angles. We know that the sides are the same length and that there are no right angles. And when we use the list of attributes, it helps us kind of like our picture helps us. This picture right here, we're using the attributes or the properties of the shape to tell us what the shape's name is. All right, so I want you to look at this shape right here. Is it a quadrilateral? Explain why or why not. I want you to take a minute and think to yourself, what is a quadrilateral? What does that mean? It means that a shape has four sides and four angles. So let's see if this shape has four sides. 1, 2, 3, 4 sides. And let's see if it has four angles. 1, oops, my pen's not working. 1, 2, 3, 4 angles. So it is. And I could write here, it is because it has four sides and four angles. Is this shape a parallelogram? Is it a rectangle? Is it a rhombus? Let's look at our picture. So we're looking at this shape right here. I'm on eraser by accident. We're working at this shape right here. So if it's a parallelogram, a quadrilateral has to have two sets of parallel sides. Does this shape have two sets of parallel sides? Parallel sides are two lines that, if they continue forever, will never touch. And these lines all touch each other. So this is not a parallelogram. And if it's not a parallelogram, can it be a rectangle? Because in order to be a rectangle, it has to have two sets of parallel sides. So we know that it cannot be a rectangle. Is it a rhombus? Again, in order to be a rhombus, it has to have two sets of parallel sides, and all those sides have to be equal. So it cannot be a rhombus. It can only be a quadrilateral. All right, so I want you to think about this. I want us to list all the quadrilaterals below that have two pairs of sides the same length, but are not rectangles. I'm going to highlight that for us. They are not rectangles. So we know a rectangle has 4 right angles. So we want equal sides, but not a rectangle. So this one is a rectangle. So this one doesn't work for us. Let's look at B. Does it have two pairs of sides the same length? This side and this side are the same length. This side and this side are the same length. So this has, so B, let's look at this quadrilateral C. I want you to think, does it have two pairs of sides that are the same length? If you thought, yes, it does, you are correct. These top two are the same length, and these bottom two are the same length. That is a shape called a kite, and that has two pairs that are the same length. And what about D? Well, D is kind of tricky. I want you to think about it. I'm going to go back to our page here. Is a square a rectangle? Is a square a rectangle? A square is a rectangle because it's just a special rectangle. It has two sets of parallel sides, but it has two sides, opposite sides are the same length, but all the sides are the same length. So this is a rectangle, so we cannot call it, we cannot put it in our list. Draw a quadrilateral that has at least one right angle, but is not a rectangle. I want you to take a piece of paper and write that down. I'm going to do it with you. Let's see. I want a quadrilateral, so I knew I need to have 4 sides and 4 angles, and I have to have at least one right angle, but it can't be a rectangle. So I'm going to draw my right angle first. And so now I have, what if I did this? So this says I need at least one right angle, which means I can have more than one. So this quadrilateral has at least one right angle. It is not a rectangle. I wonder what it is. It looks like it has one set of parallel sides. These sides are parallel right here, but those other two sides aren't. So this must be a trapezoid. Oopsies, sorry. Where is my A? It's kind of funny there. Trapezoid. All right, our last one. Draw a quadrilateral in which all sides are not the same length. Opposite sides are the same length. And there are no right angles. So if my opposite sides are the same length. Hey, Mommy, I'm recording, sweetie. If opposite sides are the same length and there are no right angles, we have a parallelogram. A parallelogram. Okay, now the next thing you're going to do is go to the calendar and click on the worksheet that I have linked there, if I can find it. And this is going to be your work today. You're going to go through and type in the answer to these questions. Right here it says circle the words. We can't circle them, but I just want you to click on whichever one you think is the correct answer and type in this one. All right? Or you can say yes, and you can say over here, no, whichever you think there is the correct answer. Okay? And so you have a couple of these. There is a place for you to draw a quadrilateral. If you can, take a picture of it on a piece of paper. If not, just skip number 9. I hope you're all doing well, and I miss you guys.